The filter is the next section we'll go over, and the cutoff is probably the funnest knob on the whole keyboard. It allows me to shape the sound. The low pass filter is probably the most popular, and what that's going to do is cut out the highs as you turn the knob down, and it lets the lows pass through. That's why it's the low pass filter. It's also known as a high cut. And the slope is how much it's going to cut. And the most effective one is the 24 decibel, and that's also known as a 4-pole filter. And the resonance puts a peak at the cutoff frequency. So if I turn that up, we can hear it gets thinner on some settings and fatter on other settings. So if we go back to the left side of the keyboard, the D beam, I can control the filter there. Which is pretty fun, and the audience likes to see you doing things in the air. It's you know, it's like magic. And then I can also control the pitch from there. I can also assign certain knobs to be controlled by the D-beam. And let's see, the amplifier section over here, we can control the level of our sound independent of the master volume knob. And in there is an overdrive button. That'll add some distortion to the sound. Go to the pitch envelope next. If I turn the attack up, that's going to affect the beginning portion of the sound, and that has to do with time. And they have arrows going that way letting you know it has to do with time. And then this would be volume, up and down. And we'll get to that again with the sustain in the full envelope sections. So this is what's known as an AD envelope, which only has the attack and decay controls. And then with the depth, if I put that to the plus side, the attack portion is going to be how long it takes for that pitch to rise. It'll take all day if I have it at the higher settings. And then if I put the depth up, it'll go farther. And then if I put the decay, that has to do with on the way back down. So once it reaches the attack portion and it reaches the top of that, it's going to swell back down. And there I had the pitch going up with the positive setting on the depth fader. And if I go below 0 and use a negative setting, it's going to drop the pitch. Pretty fun stuff. So I'll set those back to 0, and then we'll go to the LFO, and that's a low frequency oscillator, and that's going to, I can set the rate and I can set the depth, and right now I have it dealing with the filter. And if you imagine it as a windshield wiper, the rate is going to be how fast it's wiping back and forth, and the depth is going to be how far. And if I have it affecting the filter, it'll sound a certain way. And then if I have it affect the pitch, can get some pretty crazy sounds there. If I have it affect the amplifier, it'll do a classic tremolo. Still got the distortion on. And you have two LFOs. I was dealing with number 2. You can have settings for number 1, and there's 2 destinations that it can affect. And the shape is going to be something you would want to choose wisely, and the square is it's going to cut it in and out. And then if I use a sine wave setting, that's going to swell it in and out. And then if I go to the filter envelope, this is a fun thing. It's I use an envelope to control the filter. And so I'm going to turn the cutoff down to a lower setting, turn the depth up, and turn the attack and decay up a little bit. So that kind of automatically turns the knob for me, depending on the time. So put the depth back at 0. And the amplifier envelope is going to give me control over the volume with the envelope. And the attack and decay and release are have to do with time, and then the sustain has to do with level. And so if I turn the attack up, it's going to take a second for the sound to swell in. We'll use a lower setting here. And then the decay is how long it's going to take to go away. And then the sustain is how loud it's going to stay once it falls again. And then the release has to do with after I let go of the key. When I let go of the key, I can have it fade out at a set time. But this is pretty much a default setting here, with the attack and decay down, sustain up, and the release down. And then there's a built-in effects section where I have delay and reverb. You can turn the effects on and go to edit the delay. And I'm going to set the time in the middle, I'm going to set the depth in the middle, and just see what it sounds like. So it adds some delay to my sound. And if I turn the delay depth down and go to editing the reverb, it'll make it sound like it's in a bigger room. Turn the effects off again, and that completes the whole guided tour of the SH-201.